In this lecture, we are going to talk about what is verification and validation of finite element analysis results. So, already we have seen this particular diagram in the previous lectures where the user is going to give his inputs and the software is going to convert all these inputs into a mathematical model, and it will use numerical solution techniques and then solve for the selected parameters, or let us say requested parameters such as displacement, stress, strain, heat transfer, based on type of analysis, whatever the selected parameters it might be, and it is going to solve for all those parameters at selected points which are nothing but the nodes. Fine. Then it is going to give out the results in whatever format that is requested by the user. So this is what comes under pre-processing stage, this comes under solution stage, and this comes under the post-processing stage. This already we have learnt. What are we doing here? So we are converting a physical problem, or let us say representing the physical problem in terms of a mathematical model, right? And during this process we are going to consider some assumptions, as well as we need to provide few conditions which will try to replicate the physical problem in terms of mathematical model. But remember, it might not be always possible to give those conditions as accurately as intended. So whatever the result we are going to get from the software, it will be an approximate solution. This already we have learnt, right? So now we need to validate and verify whether whatever the result that we are getting from the software, or let us say whatever the result we are going to get by solving a problem using FEM method is acceptable or not. So for that particular reason we need to perform what is known as verification and validation. So if we perform these two things on these results that we obtain from the FEA software, we can confidently say whatever the results got by solving in the FEA software are acceptable, right? So now we are going to see what are all the steps that are involved in a validation phase and verification phase, right? Now, so the first thing we are going to look at is verification stage. So this is called as verification, in which we can do three things. First of all, we need to find out whether the results are consistent with the mathematical model that we have used or not. Then the second step is whether the amount of numerical error that we are getting is acceptable or not, and the third step is what is the acceptable variation when we compare the results that we get from this analysis with the hand calculations. So there are number of things that we do in these three steps. So for us to easily understand these three steps, we will take a simple example of a cantilever beam. Suppose for example here there is a cantilever beam and there is a fixed condition here, and I am applying a force of P throughout the entire top surface of this particular cantilever beam. Now let us say we need to see whether whatever the results are consistent with the mathematical model or not. So suppose for example, by using common sense, we can simply say when we are applying a force like this, in which way this particular cantilever beam is going to bend. Obviously the force is in the downward direction, that means the cantilever beam should bend in the downward direction. Is it true or not? So this is how the cantilever beam has to bend based on the application of forces. But let us suppose after solving the problem we got exactly opposite. Let us say like this it is bending, or otherwise it is bending in somewhat zigzag pattern like this. So we can easily say that the results that we got are not consistent with whatever the mathematical model that we are applying. So this is one basic example of checking the results and stating whether they are consistent with the mathematical model or not. And please remember, this is a very simple way of explaining. It requires a lot of other theory to understand more about these steps in somewhat detail, right? Then coming to the second step, where we will see whether the amount of numerical error that we got is acceptable or not. Suppose for example I have taken the same problem. First of all, what I will do is, let us say I will create different elements, and I will create two elements, and I will solve the problem, and let us say I got 10 MPa of stress. Then same case I will solve by taking let us say 5 elements, same problem. Instead of dividing it into 2 elements, I am dividing it into 5 elements, and now I am going to solve the problem, and let us suppose I get 8 MPa of stress. So whether the results are consistent in two cases? No. So what happens? This is because of the numerical error that is being input when we are trying to solve this particular problem. So in order to avoid this, one method is to do what is known as a mesh convergence study, where we are going to mesh this particular model with a different amount of meshes, and we are going to see whether we are getting consistent results between two meshes or not. At some stage what will happen is, we will be getting consistent results without much variation between two different mesh sizes. So then we can say the mesh has converged. This is one of the example for the second step, which is nothing but checking whether there is an acceptable amount of numerical error in the verification phase or not. And as we already know, the third step is we are going to perform hand calculations if possible. It might not be possible in all cases, but if possible, we are going to idealize the model and perform some hand calculations which are derived by the use of analytical process, and we are going to compare whether the results that we are getting through finite element method and the results that we are getting through that analytical method are matching or not. Based on the variation, we can say the result has been verified. So this is what we are going to do in the verification phase. Then let us suppose you want to validate the results. So validating results is nothing but comparing the results with those of the experimental values. So whatever the results you are going to get by solving this problem using FEM, or let us say FEA software, you are going to try to compare those results with whatever the experimental results that are available. And remember, this also might not be possible in all the cases. Based on the different possibilities that are available, we are going to perform a mixture of these particular steps that we have seen in the verification and validation phases.